Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC podcast, brought to you by the REC Toycast. I'm your host, Roman Chavez, and with me as always,
Eric Icarus.
Eric,
what's up?
You can find us on the gram at REC Podcast. You can follow myself at Roman REC Podcast, and you can follow yourself.
Gulag_J_Wielding.
Check us out at REC Comics as well, where we're selling all kinds of collectibles, comics, toys, cups, paraphernalia. No, that last one's that's Eric's side hustle, all right? That's at Bomb Dudes.
Bomb Dudes. Hashtag it, baby.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
Dude, I'm good, man. I'm good. Just living that sweet life.
Yeah, the sweet life, huh?
Forgetting to turn my ringer off. You know. I know. Unprofessional.
Too amateur.
I know, and it's just Groupon notifications. You know? It's nothing interesting. You know. Yeah. All the people who would text me are in this house right now.
Right.
You know? Oh man, how's your Christmas shopping going?
Bad,
huh?
I haven't started.
Yeah,
I haven't started with nothing, man. Mm-hmm. Nothing. How about you?
My wife takes care of most of it, and then she gives me a couple specific people
Sure.
that I've got to get.
Right.
You know, she literally buys for 20 people that I put my name on,
mm-hmm.
and she gives me a handful. Not even a handful. I'm not done yet.
I get it. It's hard to go out.
I had an idea, and
mm-hmm.
I can't say what the idea was because some of those people may listen to this show, but it was very similar to what my wife had done for somebody else in our family.
Right.
So, I can't do my idea this time. And it's that's all I had. That's the only idea I had for this. It was going to knock out a couple birds with the one stone.
Oh, no.
And now I have to, and it's getting close.
Yeah,
it's getting close.
It's already getting there. It's getting down to the wire, man.
Yeah, I can hear the jingle bells coming. So, I got to figure that out. I guess in our realm of news, we are getting a couple presents here and there. Something that had long since been wanted, had said even before there was an MCU, I think everybody pretty much agreed Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, Otto Octavius, is one of the best cast villains because it kind of changed what we could see Doc Ock as.
Right.
And sounds like the MCU will be bringing him back in Spider-Man 3.
Dude.
That's huge. It's huge.
Man, Marvel is just really taking it, man. I don't know what... they got to be doing a multiverse.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to integrate this, but it's going to be genius.
Yes.
I am blown away here, man.
And they don't even have to do a multiverse for everybody. You can stick to this type of Spider-Verse thing.
Sure.
Because, sounds like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are also being in the final talks to reprise their roles as Spider-Man. There is some I guess blurring of the lines whether it's going to be in the Spider-Verse animated or in the live-action Spider-Man 3, but it's sounding more like it's going to be for Spider-Man 3 with Kirsten Dunst rumors also being attached for her coming back as Mary Jane.
Oh my god.
They are shitty. And it's weird because I think the average, and even some of the seasons, not the right word, but the more initiated comic book fans, I don't think they realize how multiverse related Spider-Man actually is.
It is.
It has deep roots. I think both of us, our exposure, we've talked about the episode, the Spider Wars or
in the animated series.
It's Spider Wars or Spider Carnage. It's a little bit of both. And
it's steeped in this multiverse
madness. But before there was Into the Spider-Verse, before there was an Edge of Spider-Verse, there was I think the Spider Wars is what it's called. I'll have to vet that.
Yeah. The Spider Wars.
Yeah. Where were you when the Spider Wars began? And the Spiderians attacked?
Because that was with our armored Spider-Man.
Yeah, we had an armored Spider-Man. We had the Ock Spider-Man.
Yep.
We had the regular Joe human Peter Parker who played Spider-Man on the TV
that's
show.
Awesome.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like there was one more.
Right.
And then our kind of prime Spider-Man. Yeah. And it was multiverse hopping through portals.
Yeah, dude.
The villain was a Spider Carnage, which was a Peter Parker that had been joined with the symbiote, but the Carnage symbiote.
Right.
And it was driving him crazy, and he was just trying to destroy all multiverse. And it was a very sweet story. It was very interesting. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And that was kind of the first time that I had been exposed to a Spider-Verse type story.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah.
And man, but this is crazy. And honestly, I think we really like Tobey Maguire in parts of the original trilogy. We definitely like Spider-Man 2 as a whole.
Yes.
Now
dig on
this.
But we love that.
Oh. And Andrew Garfield, we agree, is really cool. Probably the most beautiful scene in any Spider film.
Cinematically is amazing.
Is the hashtag? I'm sorry, spoilers. Hashtag Death of Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Shot for shot from the panels of the comic almost. With a little twist. It had some twists there.
Yeah, but this is, it's in a clock tower as opposed to...
I think more like the close-ups, like her falling.
Yeah.
They got the best parts
Mark
of
Webb,
it.
Mark Webb really, I think he did a very good job. It was just weak Spider-Man stuff. It felt like very 90s Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Where it was like, hey, we have Webb and Spectacular and Amazing and... just regular Spider-Man. We had 4 or 5 titles that were all Spider-Man, and it was just like, yeah, this is Spider-Man, and like you like these things about him,
right?
But it's just hollow,
Yeah.
And again, the kind of autistic Electro, which he's also coming back. It's a really fun way to acknowledge this thing that we know as viewers is ridiculous.
Right.
The fact that Sony, like the average moviegoer, I think knows, maybe above average moviegoer, knows that Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man.
Yes.
They know that they know that there's something weird with Spider-Man and why there's like this Venom thing that's supposed to be Spider-Man related. And God, I mean, Jesus, I've already forgotten about Morbius. Forgot about Morbius.
Poor 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yeah. It's God. Jared Leto.
Yeah. Are they even shooting that or?
No, it's done.
It's done.
It's supposed to come out this year. Yeah, it's supposed to come out like November or something like that. October or November. Like everything is crazy, which kind of leads me to this. How much of the MCU is being reshaped by coronavirus? How much of it is like, oh, hey, we should do this, and it kind of feels a little bit like reactionary to what DC is announcing. DC tried to own Corona. We've talked about this. We think that DC, in terms of news, has owned the COVID Times.
Right. Love that newspaper, by the way.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been going on over a year now, and
it's infectious.
We started to get this. In Flashpoint, okay, we're gonna get Michael Keaton. We're gonna get these different Batmen.
Right.
We're gonna get, most likely a Thomas Wayne. We're gonna get Batfleck in there too. They're setting up like a Flashpoint multiverse type thing as well. We're seeing it in the comics, more multiverse related stuff. It's always going on at any given Sunday. But Spider-Man was supposed to start shooting real early in the year. Everybody went locked down. They couldn't shoot stuff. And then it's like, oh, hey, we're going to bring Electro.
Jamie Foxx's
Electro
back into this.
is going to be in it. That's weird. Okay, well, we know that Sam Raimi's doing it. And, right, Sam Raimi's doing Doctor Strange.
Yes.
So, like, they're going to... See, that's weird. See, I would have thought they would have shown up in the Sam Raimi one. So now I'm even more confused. I just think they're really going for the Into the Spider-Verse thing live action, and they're just leaning into it hard. It feels for the first time that Marvel is doing something reactionary to DC.
Like flexing on it.
Yes.
You think this isn't like a straight on like, hey, you think that's cool, wait till you see what Marvel's got.
I don't know if it's... Okay, actually, no, I disagree. I don't know if it's a flex. I don't know if it's like, oh... Should we be doing this?
Right.
Because Kevin Feige in the bunch. It was at Marvel Studios, and when Into the Spider-Verse came out, they're like, "Crap!
Yeah,
this is awesome.
Yeah, this is great.
How
do we integrate this?
Yeah, we're and they already they know months before we know that the fight is coming. Remember, there was a time where Tom Holland's not going to be in here anymore.
Right.
Like Avengers is it.
That was this year.
Yeah, or Spider-Man 2 is it.
Yep, that was it.
And it was like, oh, what is going to happen?
Yeah.
And, Venom did well.
Yeah.
It did well without Spider-Man, which is so ridiculous to me.
But it was the year of the villain, of the arch nemesis.
Yeah, but it was like these pale copies of them.
Right. It was definitely... I did not care for the Venom movie.
I didn't.
To me, that wasn't Eddie Brock, in my opinion. No, I'm not throwing shade on Tom Hardy. I think he's great. Just he's not Eddie Brock to me.
Yeah, it's just not.
Even the story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
and it was sort of like they had all these sort of weird shackles on them. Like, okay, this isn't. We got to kind of write it like it's in the MCU, but then far enough away.
Yeah,
that it's not part of the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't.
Yeah,
I didn't care for it either. I thought it sucked.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
You know, and Sony really was like, hey, we knocked it out of the park with this animated thing. Our animated division's killing it. And, hey, we can do these other movies. Like, there's so many, you know, it's arguable. I do think, and maybe I flip-flopped, I do think Spider-Man has the greatest rogues gallery, but the two best are obviously Spider-Man and Batman.
Yes.
But I think there's an argument for both.
Sure.
But I do think I like more of Spider-Man's villains, but the ones I like in Batman's I like better.
Yeah.
They're just way better.
For sure.
They're just more interesting. But I think as a whole, like, I think there are some Batman villains where if they're in the story, I'm like, oh, all right. But I think every time I have a Spider-Man villain, I'm like, cool.
Right,
cool,
right.
Let's do this.
They're all, even the lame-o ones, like Mysterio.
Yeah.
Cool. He's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Sandman.
How do you make that cool?
Yeah.
They do.
Oh, dude, I have this Rhino figure. I need to show you that. I unearthed the other day.
Oh, nice.
And it blew my mind. I never saw it in the right light either.
Right, and you're
it's
like, oh
better than I remembered it being.
Oh, sweet.
Marvel Select Rhino. It's a beautiful figure. If you don't have it, check it out. So yeah, anyway, I do feel like this is somewhat in reaction to what DC is doing.
Do you think DC saw Into the Spider-Verse and was like, oh, maybe we were kind of touching on that
Yes.
in Batman v Superman.
Yes.
Let's go full tilt on this.
Yes, I think this is the Flashpoint is their just like haymaker.
Right. It's sort of what Days of Future did for the X-Men franchise.
And I kind of think Marvel didn't. This hasn't been the plan. I don't think this has been the plan to do to have Maguire, Garfield, old Spider-Man villains from other universes show up. It feels like like DC wound up with the haymaker, and Marvel's kind of like, oh, I see a punch coming. What should I do with this punch?
Yeah. Do you think it was partly that and partly because of the COVID thing? Maybe those actors, like, they opened up, like the schedule opened up. So like, hey, maybe we can get all of them right now.
Yeah, maybe there was a time where it was like, oh, that's a pipe dream. We're never going to be able to get all of these people
because of scheduling.
Yeah, because I mean, they barely made it work for Endgame, the Endgame fight scene, but they did it, and that's ridiculous. Can you do it again?
Yes.
But now it's like you're doing something so interesting. Like this has got to have ramifications throughout the rest of the MCU, correct?
It has to. I mean, I could see a story where they wrap it up just in
Doctor Strange.
Strange and Spider-Man. Like those two are kind of like quasi sequels to each other, which that's just very weird to me.
It is weird.
Very strange.
It is weird. But you got to, and you know what I'm saying is like I don't think this was the plan.
No.
I think they're trying to get further ahead. Because, Marvel gets a little bit of that, that warmth from the fire from Into the Spider-Verse.
Right.
It makes them, it makes people interested. Oh, are they going to do Miles? But now it's like, oh, this is going to be a similar thing. And I mean, there's a world in which we see an animated Tom Holland show up in Into the Spider-Verse to kind of connect all of it together.
Right.
It's like, hey, Into the Spider-Verse is adjacent to the MCU.
Exactly.
Like, that Miles could turn into a real person.
Totally, yeah.
And it's fascinating, man.
Yeah.
And then you got to remember, too, Chadwick Boseman died.
Yeah, I think in this COVID year, we'll call it, 2020, has had to have the MCU. I think a lot of things are being retooled.
They went 11 years with their only hitches being Terrence Howard and Edward Norton. Okay, and then Edgar Wright.
Yes.
Those three things are really kind of the only like major issues they had.
Right.
Nobody died.
Yeah.
And until obviously Chadwick. But when you start expanding that universe, like I was always concerned that somebody was going to pass away.
We always had those kind of conversations like, oh man, what happens if they lose one of them?
And we always kind of talked about RDJ. We didn't talk about like the young guys. And even though Boseman was in his 40s,
he's still relatively young.
I mean, very young.
Yeah.
And but I think older than RDJ when RDJ started.
Yes.
I think RDJ was like 38.
38, 39,
something like that.
Yeah.
and I think Boseman was like 40 or 41.
Yeah.
And then I mean, and it's crazy. Like it would.
What
I don't want to say it would be better, but like it's like, oh, if you know, if something had happened to somebody who had already been around,
right?
I don't, you know, this is such a this year has been such a curveball to Marvel.
Yeah.
We've talked about how quiet they've been,
Totally.
you know, and they're
really
really,
it's because they're retooling.
I think so too. I think Kevin Feige, like, I think he's burned out the Zoom meetings and is like, guys, we need to figure this out. Who are we going to put in here? And then Latita Wright, who plays Shuri.
Yes.
You know, she had, I don't know if you, I know you're weird about social media. Did you see any of her controversy?
No, what did she do?
She had reposted some anti-vax stuff about like COVID, really just like posing questions.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, should we take the vaccine
Sure.
type stuff? And
what was her argument against, like, they have a microchip in it?
she was just like interesting and then like retweeted this like video.
Sure.
And then obviously the internet came for her head. And so she deleted all her social media and everything like that. But like, you know, she's being set up to become
the Black Panther.
Yeah, they're not looking to do
which I think it would be wrong to do her as the Black Panther.
I don't, but
I want one of the I can't pronounce the name of the warriors. Help me out here.
The Dora Milaje?
Yes,
yeah.
I want one of them to do it.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it'd been really.
It would be more active in combat, and
yeah.
she could be in their ear.
Yeah, like if Okoye became.
Yeah, I can see her being more the Black Panther.
Or make Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah.
You know, because she was the love interest. We're never gonna get to see that play out.
I know.
We can have the whole thing where T'Challa dies, off screen.
Right.
And then she tries to honor him by taking up the mantle. That may be Plan C now that Latita Wright has upset.
I don't think she's gonna be blackballed from Marvel.
I don't think they will.
Mean, I think it's and everyone needs to. Oh God, this just again it gets me a little upset when people take things too far. And they ruin people's career for having an opinion. Not even like in a boisterous, like, this is wrong opinion. Just like you said, asking questions.
Yeah.
And I think people need to chill out on that. But hopefully she's going to be okay. But yeah, I think you're right. I think we're going to go straight into Plan C now. I don't think she's right for Black Panther. She doesn't have the ferocity.
No,
character.
I'd like her to be the. I'd like her to be. Yes, I would like her to.
Chair.
I would like her to be. But I'm totally about the girl power thing, man. Yeah, put and I can't remember Lupita's name in there. What was her name? She was in the comics. She's actually a bad guy, and I'm drawing a blank. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Yeah, it would be really cool to see her pick it up, or Okoye. Yeah. Okoye would be awesome.
I think that makes more sense because the general. Come on.
And I mean she's basically an Avenger in Endgame,
yeah, that's true.
She's on the video meetings.
She's in the Zoom meetings with Black Widow.
Oh my God.
It was predating.
No, snapped.
Oh, the snap is COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We need to go back in time.
Yeah.
Where's Ant-Man?
The children of Thanos. Dude, this like Marvel Legends set was a pre-order online for like the Children of Thanos. It's like repaints of those other
the other ones, yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't even know about it. Like, I missed the pre-sale, and I'm not playing arm and a leg for it.
Is it all of them?
Yeah, it's all the movie versions.
Oh, okay, movie versions.
Yeah.
Because obviously they were missing.
Yeah, they didn't do the Black Order. Yeah,
they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. I get too many characters. You got to scale it down.
Yeah, the Thanos is a repaint of the Build-A-Figure movie Thanos, but it has an interchangeable, like, burned-up arm and burned-up head.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then the Black Dwarf has got the seemingly Captain Marvel, like, sash.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Like, it's really cool, and I'm gonna have to pay I might have to pay an arm and leg for it. I'm gonna see if I can get a deal. I'm gonna see if I can get it a deal. Well, it was an online exclusive.
Oh,
and I just missed it. I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah.
So upset.
Oh.
So upset.
Yeah, dude, we all miss some.
Yeah, it's okay.
You can't bat 100 forever.
I'll get back.
But I don't know. What do you think this means for the MCU as a whole? Do you think we're going to get certain movies sooner? Because I think Black Panther's not going to be for a very long time.
Yeah, I think that lineup that we had earlier even in like mid-Corona, which was like one of their like soft like announcements.
Right.
I think that's going to change.
I think everything.
What does Eternals have to do with the multiverse?
Right.
I'm concerned
and
about that.
And how tied was that to Black
What
Panther?
does Shang-Chi have to do with the multiverse?
Right.
Is a multiverse going to be is that going to be Phase 4?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because if you use the multiverse, then we can get to the negative zone.
Right. That's when we bring in Reed Richards.
Yeah, exactly.
And the gang.
Yeah, we have the old Stretchy in the bunch.
We forget Reed Richards and the other three people.
Yeah. Do you ever watch Adventure Bros?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever see the Fantastic Four episode? Oh, dude, it's so creepy. So creepy. It's so good, though. Yeah, I do think that this multiverse thing may end up being bigger than we initially thought.
Really? You don't think it's going to be wrapped up in these 2 movies, basically?
I mean, why
put all this work into it?
Why spend all that money? Why...
Just for these 2 movies?
Yeah, just for 2 films.
Yeah. It's got to have some ramifications. And then, in a weird, strange way, this could bring back RDJ.
And I think that they don't want to do that in Phase 4, but I can see it in a Phase 6.
This leaves the door open.
Yes. Yeah, this makes it a way to where they can go to that universe that has that Cap.
Yeah.
The old Cap.
Mm-hmm.
Or they can find a younger Cap.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they can find a Krasinski Cap. I don't know. They could
How funny would that be?
They can find Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah.
You know, like this is putting in a multiverse is crazy, but I'm always afraid when something can get painted with the same brush. You know, once you introduce the thing of time travel and the thing of universe hopping, it's hard to do. I think they really should have gone out of their way to destroy the time travel machine in front of us.
Yes.
You know, like, hey, we can't have this here.
But that's why we get Kang.
Yeah.
Kang is the guardian to time. He is I think we've said this in a previous episode. Kang is... We think, or I feel, maybe you do too, that Kang is going to be the time guardian. He's not necessarily a bad guy, but he's watching over time.
Yeah.
You know, making sure you're not messing around, you know?
Yeah, I can side with that guy. I think this is going to be Kang the Conqueror. I think it's going to be one of those things that maybe what he's doing is being kind of exposed because of what they did.
Right.
And maybe that's why he's like, hey... You know, he shows up.
Yeah,
you know,
like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like you can't do this, and I can't do this together. So stop. Yeah, like you know what? I'm gonna fix some things. You know, and I bet you it would be interesting. We see a version of Tony real quick.
Oh, for sure.
Like, oh, and then he just disappears.
Yeah.
You know,
that'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, that'd be funny. I'd be real into that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like you said earlier, man. I think things are different now, obviously, and Marvel's good at rolling with things.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see where we roll.
Yeah.
Where do we land with all of this?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, our I think we were supposed to already have gotten a few of those on-demand Disney shows already.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So how does Loki? I guess Loki can fit in with the cube and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But how does Hawkeye? How does Falcon, Winter Soldier? How do those things tie into what's going on? Again, we're just assuming that the multiverse might have a bigger thing to do with the overarching thing. It could totally be a red herring. This could totally be just like and it could just be these 2 things.
Yes, that's true.
It's just one movie, just a comic crossover.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe
it could definitely. Yeah, but like you said, why spend all the time to all this money, all this publicity?
Yeah.
To just do it for the crossover. You know, I think this is going to turn into. I think this is their way of maybe correcting a couple things that they can't fix in real life. You know what I mean?
It's I think that heck, maybe they get a Black Panther out of another.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's what they do, or which I don't know about that. That feels a little.
Yeah,
wrong.
I don't think they would. I think they're gonna lean Shuri, Okoye, or
right,
God,
or even give me Kilgrave. He's not dead, right?
Yeah, Kilgrave's dead, isn't he?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think she snapped his neck.
Oh, you can walk that off.
Yeah, just walk it off, bro.
It's Kilgrave.
Walk it off. Yeah. I think that's why we were so upset that they could have brought him back in another way.
Yeah,
like I said, it'd been just awesome if he ripped out his tongue. That'd have been really cool.
How cool would that have been?
Yeah, just you get to live and you don't ever get to speak.
Right,
again,
right.
You know,
God, that'd be cool. Or just make Bucky Black Panther.
the White Wolf.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's fair. We get Sam as Cap.
Yeah.
Then we get Bucky as Black Panther.
Do you think in Captain America Falcon or Winter Soldier Falcon Bucky's gonna be all token because he's been hanging out with Wakanda? And they don't even talk like that. He just started adopting that. Yeah. Sam's oh my god,
what's up,
dude.
My brothers?
Yeah. Oh no. He's got a dashiki.
So what are you guys doing for Kwanzaa?
Yeah, he just went super native, living amongst the Wakandans.
Oh, come on, man. We brought you in here.
Yeah, you gotta be cooler than this.
Just be the cool white guy that every black friend has,
Yeah, because what are the odds that Cap and Bucky are a little racist?
Well, they would be.
I mean, you would think. You would think,
because
like, I could see Cap not being because he's served, but I guess they both.
I think Cap because he just that's just wouldn't be in his nature.
He doesn't like bullies.
He doesn't like bullies.
He doesn't care where they're from.
Yeah, exactly. What color they are.
Yeah.
But I can see Bucky. He had a little bit of bully in him.
Yeah, he had a little bit.
Maybe he's a little racist.
Oh man, dude, that'd be so funny. He's like really uncomfortable being in Wakanda.
Like they're walking behind him. He's like,
like the White Wolf was like an insult. You know. Yeah, because he wasn't even like in Wakanda. He was like out like working.
They had him working, which is good. Yeah, they could pay for that room and board, man.
That's right. It's ain't no free ride, dude. You killed my
free.
dad, or at least somebody used your image to kill my dad. Yeah,
it's like that's just as bad. I don't know. This is gonna be cool, man. I think Marvel's got some good ideas. I think we're gonna roll. I just want my shows, man. I just want my Disney shows. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited for Vision or WandaVision. Yeah. What if? Come on.
It's gonna be January. It's gonna be January. WandaVision now. Really? So
I think they should have used this time to do like, okay, look, let's get cracking on What If, because I know that's supposed to be later. Like, let's push this forward so that way we can give them something.
But I still think there's a lot of like in-person stuff that they needed to do for those.
For What If?
Yeah, I can't imagine how it is to be an artist like that. So not like the art we do here on the RC podcast, but.
It's hot science.
Obviously you can draw some things, but you probably need to be when it's art and like collaborative art. Like I feel like you definitely got to like be in the room.
Most animation's done in Korea.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like those Koreans are like working together. Yeah. Like being able to create things like and like speak with each other. Is like I think
Feige's just sitting there with a drum. Like we're gonna pick it up.
Shirtless. Favreau on the drum. Oiled up and Stan Lee's withered corpse just like kill me, just pumping off of him. Oh Jesus! I'm excited. I'm excited.
I think as bad as this year was, I think next year's gonna be good. It has to be good, man.
We have to
hope for good.
With the thing is, what's gonna be great about it? I'm gonna say now is that everything's just gonna be okay, but it's gonna be so much better than what we're doing now.
That's what I'm saying.
That like it's just like gonna be this exponentially like things are just gonna get better and better and better. Yeah,
maybe that's the point. Maybe we got so used to the best.
Yes,
and maybe we got to be fine with okay for a while and just to be like that was good. That was a good effort.
Yeah.
And stop having such high expectations for everything.
Yeah.
Because it kind of ruins things.
It does.
So I think, let's chill out and then just enjoy the ride while we can, Because it's just the ride, as Bill Hicks says. It's just the ride.
Man, jeez. Eric got ahead of us. Because you know what? I think that's our show. If you like what we're doing, please hit the subscribe button. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
What direction?
Always get at me.
Ah, man.
That was my final thought.
How do you think the MCU is going to be affected by this multiverse thing? The stuff that DC is doing. Is the MCU bobbing and weaving while DC is winding up? We got a couple final thoughts from you already, so I'm going to leave you guys with this. Still no Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Still no Uncle Ben. They're really... I'm concerned they're getting away from how important Uncle Ben's death is.
Right. Well, maybe because they know how they're doing the anti-DC because we've seen Thomas and Martha murdered.
Yeah.
So like
the Wayans and Uncle Ben, those guys get jacked.
Exactly. So why don't we just not talk about it?
I know, but I mean,
he's like the Uncle Ben on the rice box. We just don't talk about it.
But it's such an important part of the mythos. We need to start at least like mentioning it.
Yes,
we need it up more. We should it should have been brought up in the last Spider-Man.
We should have at least had a name drop.
First Uncle Ben, now Tony.
Yeah,
something like that. Like just something as simple as that.
Yes,
but I guess better minds know. Better minds know.
Sure.
Kids, thank you so much for watching and listening. If you only listen on the podcast apps, go check us out on YouTube.
Come see these faces.
Yeah, you can see the deep V's. Even though Eric's wearing his kind of discount V today.
Yeah.
He's usually V'd up. Yeah, he's usually V'd up and bombed up and
looking a little tad.
I was gonna let it go, but yeah, it's been distracting me this entire show.
You don't like this?
I've been your humble host, Roman Chavez.
I'm still Eric Icarus.
And we will catch you on the next podcast.